Hello, hello, saying hello for the recording that will be up later. Nobody's here yet, and that's okay. If nobody shows up, that's okay too. I will just keep right on working. And I need something just kind of de-stressing today, so I just grabbed some stuffs and we'll see how far I get. I just have some envelopes to make up, and I just kind of wanted to not have to think too hard. So make a few different sizes. Hello to a couple of the lurkers that are there. These are all things that I know I'm going to decorate later, so it really doesn't matter how perfect they are. And a little bit of an overlap there. So hope everybody is having a good day. Ooh, I got my lights where they are really right. Let's see, camera needs to adjust. Which way does the camera need to go? That way. Hello to my lurkers. Always fun to have lurkers. Oh, I guess I should have folded that the other way, huh? So that, which way do we want the writing to be up? I guess on the outside. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm fine. Hi, Mary. I'm doing good today. How about you? Okay, maybe I'm lying a little bit. I'm a little bit stressed. It has nothing to do with the virus, just other life things that don't need to go into here. So I am, that's why I'm just going to do some simple things today, because this is my happy place. Hi, Janet. You're working, okay? Happy to see you here again. Hey, Laura. Glad you are good. Yeah, I just decided I was going to glue more book text, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've done that in several lives. I just really need simple things that I don't have to think about. We'll see how long I last. I woke up with a hideous sinus headache today, which also just kind of complicated things. So the meds finally kicked in on that. And the house is all closed up, so all the allergy stuff can't come in. Hey, Shelby. Thanks, Janet. Yeah, you know, sometimes just stuff that's out of our control just kind of creeps in, and you just got to deal with it. So my way of dealing with it is to make some art. And I finished the journal that I was working on last week in the live, and I posted it on Etsy, and it sold right away. So that was really nice. There is a flip through of it on my channel. I think it's probably the last video that I posted was the flip through of that journal, and I would love some happy thumbs up if you've seen it, because I don't know why people give a thumbs down on a journal flip. It's like, come on, if you don't like the journal, just move along. But you know, I try not to let the thumbs down, because we get them occasionally, and I get them on my journal flips, and that just sort of, you know, it's like, ouch. But it's probably just because, like I said, life is kind of being creepy right now, and because of that, everything, you feel everything, when other stuff is going on in your life, you feel everything so strong. Do I want to do them like this? That one's okay, like here. I don't even know if I brought enough stuff over to do the whole time frame that I wanted to do, but we'll see. Yeah, the meds finally kicked in, and my head feels awesome now. But I tell you, I was laying in bed going, oh, you know, I need to get up. I need to get up, because I'll feel better if I get up and take some medicine. And then I couldn't just make myself even get out of bed because it was just so crummy. Then got up and took my Sudafed and my Excedrin migraine, and lo and behold, about an hour later, I feel human again. So that's good. Unfortunately, the meds don't usually work on, you know, life emotional stuff. Yeah, I don't understand why people do the thumbs down. I mean, I've seen videos that I thought were a complete waste of my time, and the person didn't know what the heck they were talking about, and even then I did not give a thumbs down. So I don't know. I don't know. My goal is to start filling the flow journals maybe tomorrow, if I get my island in the studio cleaned off. It's about half cleaned off. because what I would like to do, I got so much done in the live last week working on that journal. I would kind of like to make it the goal to work on journal pages in the live, because then you guys have something a little bit more interesting to work on, look at, and then I've got something that's being very productive. Oh, I meant to bring over, shoot, it's not anywhere near where I'm filming right now. I covered like 25 hardcover books I covered with fabric. So there's a post of it. There's a post of it on my Instagram page, and so I've got lots of journals planned, and I've got more gutted books that I want to cover. Hey, Lorna. Hi, Carol. Yeah, Shelby, just move on, right? It's like, what the heck? Okay, I need more envelopes. And I am not even, I mean, I guess I could make the fancier envelopes, but I'm not even going to do that. I am just going to get these folded, and then I can stitch them and put some napkins on them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying not to think too much. I want to take me away, you know, like the Calgon commercial, take me away to my little happy place. So here I am. Once again, in order to clean off my desk, I grabbed one of my tubs, shoved everything off the desk into one of the tubs. Yeah, exactly, Shelby. Move on. And Janet, yeah, you can't say anything nice. I mean, most of us were raised that way, of a certain generation. I know that was my grandmother's thing. She said that all the time. If you can't say anything nice, just, you know, don't say anything at all. Just move along. And I mean, I guess I'm glad they're not leaving nasty comments. Of course, if they did, I would just delete them and block the person. But I just thumbs down, and it just hits you on a day. You know, if it's a day that I'm feeling really high, like the day I sold my journal, I'm like, nothing can get me on that day. But on a day when life is kind of not fun, it makes it a little harder. But, you know, that's life, right? That is life. Hope everybody is dealing okay with the virus stuff. We don't have the 6 counties near us have been, their shelter in place has been extended through May. And although the official notice has not come out, my dentist just called to reschedule my appointment until June. So I imagine our county is next to get that announcement. And I'm okay with that. I really don't need to be going out and about. I'm happy being home. So what's everybody working on today? You know what's going to happen after I make all these little envelopes and pockets? I'm going to find wherever my stash is that I had a bunch of them. But, oh well. Such is life. I probably should have brought my scoreboard up. Oh, that would have gone a little bit faster. And water. I am in Santa Cruz County, and so the Bay Area in California, which is like Santa Clara County, Contra Costa County, San Francisco, those places, they're the ones that just extended it through June or through May. And since I'm in Santa Cruz County, last time the shelter in place happened, our announcement came a couple days later. And I kind of think it's going to, I mean, whether it happens or not officially, I'm glad that the dentist postponed things, and I'm fine with waiting. Just totally fine. Maybe what I should do is go through and fold and then come through and cut, because I'll feel a little better. Oh, homeschool, yeah. Audit at work, yikes. What do you do, Janet? It's got to be hard for people that are still having to work, whether it's at home or going in. I have a couple friends. Whoops, sorry, I hit oh, forgot to pull the cord out of the way. That's what I hit. There we go. All right, let's do this. How are we going to do it? We're going to fold everything up. We will do a little assembly line. Yes, we will. Hey, Lala, and hi, Lajoni. Welcome. Oh, Janet. Wow, that sounds like a little possibly high-stress job. So happy to have new people join in. I'm just making little pockets today, and then I get them all folded up. I'll get them glued up, and I'm probably not going to decorate anything today because I think that's beyond where my brain is, but I'm okay with that. We will just work in stages. Oh, here's one that I didn't. Let's get myself. Oh, that was an envelope thingy. We'll leave that off to the side. Hey, Carla. La Joni. Okay, La Joni. If there's a test later, I am not going to remember it, but I will try. Maybe I'll do a couple kind of fancy little envelope ones. Although this paper is kind of brittle. Oh, you did groceries. Ugh. Yeah, I noticed we're down to 1 half gallon of milk, so it's probably going to be grocery day tomorrow. We drink a lot of milk, so we're probably going to have to do something there pretty soon. We've been able to, I think, go about once every 2 weeks. I think I checked all my pages before I started this to make sure that everything was clean. Yeah, I bet, Janet, that would be a bit much. Okay, what I said I was going to do. Let's just go back to that. It's not like there's a shortage of book pages to do more of these later. I don't want to do anything fiddly. I just kind of want to escape. But I'm excited to start putting the flow books together. There is so much stuff, and the covers, because then I want to get to going on those other journals. There's so many great covers. I did some with commercial fabrics and some using my hand-dyed fabrics, and that got me all excited. So oh wow, Lorna. Well, that's awesome, I guess. How do you feel about that? Do you want to go back out? I just I'm happy being home. I'm glad. I hope my husband, what I really hope is that something doesn't happen too soon for my husband to have to go into the office. I don't want him to have to, because the offices, everything is too close together, and people are, as soon as you're around other people, you're mega exposed. But I think his company's been pretty good about, keeping the people home, so that's good. And the weather here, oh my goodness, it's been so beautiful. We actually had to turn the air conditioning on. There comes the time, April, May, it kind of changes every year, where we turn the pilot light off on the fireplace and we turn on the AC. And so I think it was Monday we turned on the AC for the first time. But it's wonderful to go out in the mornings or the late evenings into the yard and see the garden and see the bunnies. We have so many bunnies, and we have quail that I think are possibly nesting in one of our hedges, and we have a pair of spotted towhees. So lots of bird activity. Got the bird bath all cleaned out, and the towhees have been happy in the bird bath. They seem to like a lot of baths. And the goldfinches, the towhees and the goldfinches come to the bird bath all the time. So that means if it's nice weather, that means it's time for me to get my leaves out of the freezer and start doing some eco dyeing. And then actually what I need to do is I need to clean off all my workspaces out on the covered deck, and then I can take you guys outside with me, because I've got a lot of messy things that need a lot of ventilation to do. And so I like to do it outside. Thanks, Lala. I appreciate that. I need to color. If I'm going to make all the 25 journals waiting to be made, that means I need a lot of paper. And I've got a fair amount of coffee dyed paper, but I need to do And I think I've got like, some good leaf impressions. I just have to do a lot of other stuff. And I'm also still in use it up mode. So I'm going to look through my supplies and kind of pick one and try it. Can't decide whether I'm going to like pick a supply and use it on a bunch of different substrates or pick a substrate and use a bunch of different supplies. What do you think? I'm thinking one substrate and we'll try, you know, acrylic paint, watercolor paint, inks, markers, all that kind of stuff on it. Oh boy, Lorna. Yeah, you know, happy to stay here. I'm glad. I mean, my husband was already set up to work from home, so it wasn't like a big change. And he was working from home at least 3 days a week already. So just adding a few more days has been nice. And it just, I like having him home. I mean, we do everything together. So it's not a hardship for me to have it home. We've come into a little routine. Like he just took Zoe out for her walk, so she'll be quiet when she gets back, and it's not too hot out yet for her to go walking. Yeah, the shopping. I mean, there are a few things, like there's a few of our favorite restaurants that's just not quite the same. If you're going to go to an expensive sit-down dinner, it's not quite the same to go get food from there for takeout, but I kind of want to go do that and support them. We haven't done any takeout through all this except for sandwiches. When my husband goes to the grocery store, their deli there makes really good sandwiches. So we have had that for dinner a couple times. And normally we would eat a lot of takeout. So it's been wonderful. I've got to enjoy my husband's good cooking, and it's better for our budget, of course. And I mean, we're lucky. I understand we are very lucky. He's still working. We don't have to stress about making our mortgage payments. You know, my heart goes out to the people that are having issues. So I figure I'll just do what I can, which is maybe to offer a little bit of escapism here. That's the best I can offer right now. Emotionally, I don't have much for anything else that I can give. How big do I want these? I like a little overlap. Oh, Lala, that's too bad. Any luck finding a place to move to yet for you? Wow, wonder how long my voice is going to last today. What I love about doing these kind of little envelopes, you don't need a pattern, you don't need to measure anything, you just fold and glue. Shelby, absolutely. You absolutely cheer me up. Oh, wow, that's wonderful that they switched you over, which reminds me, my mortgage guy contacted me to see if we wanted to take advantage of the rates and do a refinance right now. Yeah, being here with you guys, it's funny. It used to be before, when I was just doing the first couple of lives and I wasn't real confident about any of it, I wasn't sure that it was a good thing or a bad thing for me to come live. And now I know, no, I need this connection, especially since I'm taking the pressure off myself to do a lot of other videos. I have a couple image videos to do, but I'm trying not to stress. I'm just trying not to stress, and I'm trying not to play the compare game, which, you know, something I know we all always struggle with, but it doesn't do us any good to do the compare game. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to let it go. Yeah, escapism in any way, shape, and form that we can get it. And just going outside, I've been trying to get out, and it's about a quarter mile if I walk around our lower property, and it's all flat. And I have trouble with my knees, and where we live, there's just so many hills that I can't do the long walks with my husband and Zoe because I can't do the hills yet. I'm working up to it, but I mapped out about a quarter mile of flat on our property. And so I do that every day, and just going, and we got lots of bees and few butterflies are starting to come now that stuff is starting to bloom. And of course the bunnies. Always the bunnies. They're so brave. The other day, one was hiding in these bushes growing underneath one of the orange trees. And the bushes are only about a foot tall because these are just small little brush rabbits. And Zoe could smell it. And so she is standing, knee deep in the bushes. And I watched. I thought she was going for a gopher, so I didn't say anything. So I thought, okay, if she's going to get a gopher for us, that's awesome because we've got lots of gopher issues. And, for like 5 minutes, she just kept sniffing around in those bushes, and there was nothing. And then all of a sudden, the bunny took off out of the bushes, and I thought, wow, that's a pretty brave bunny that just stood there for that long with the dog that close. Yeah, we have YouTube and we have each other. It could be a lot worse. I know we're very blessed in this country, and I know not everybody that's watching is in the U.S., but I know we're blessed. And I give thanks for that every day. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I appreciate the positive comments you share with me and with one another, the way we all support one another. I need lots of water already this morning. Hello, Debbie. Oh, that's scary. So scary. Wow. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 grocery stores here in town, and I hear a lot of reports in several of the stores where people aren't paying any attention to the social distancing. It's the law here in our county to wear masks now when you go out, which I'm really grateful for. But the only place that we're shopping is our local market that's like less than 5 minutes from our house. And they were one of the very first ones to adopt safety measures, having gloves or sanitizer and gloves. Yeah, gloves and sanitizer right outside the front door before you even went in. They put the shields up right away. Told you couldn't bring in reusable shopping bags right away. So just all the stuff that they did put in place made us feel a lot safer shopping there compared to some of the, the local Safeway and stuff where people they weren't paying attention and the rules weren't being enforced. Lorna, some of you are more blessed because you live in Canada. There's a lot to be said from what I can read about living in Canada. But you know what I couldn't handle? I could not handle your snow. This California girl does not do the cold well. I don't do the heat well either. I'd like it if it could just stay about 70 degrees all the time, 68 to 72. That's my happy zone. And I'm always hot. I mean, I'm through with menopause, but I'm still always hot. And so it's kind of funny in the wintertime, I'll be sitting on the couch with, shorts and a tank top, and my husband has got on sweatpants, a flannel shirt, and wool socks, and that's pretty much the way it is. But he can always put on more clothes. There's a limit to how many I can take off. So yeah, Lala, where you live, it's kind of scary. And I mean, and here, okay, I live in a beach community, and they opened our beaches, I guess it was last week, which I thought was just stupid because then people, immediately you start seeing pictures of all these mobs of people at the beach, and I'm sure they don't all live in our county. I'm sure they're coming from all over the place and not paying attention, and I hate that. And the very people that are like, the preppers and stuff that were all ready for this, then they're all complaining about the rights being taken away, not being able to go out. And, fine. If you guys want to go out and die because you're stupid, go for it. But I'm going to stay home in my happy place with my husband and my dog and my garden. My escapism. Lala, I have been to Florida a few times. I lived in Louisiana for 3 years, which were the worst 3 years of my life. And I went to Florida a few times when I was there. Could not handle Louisiana weather, could not handle Florida weather. Not for me. Plus the bugs. I mean, we have bugs. I have spiders all the time. Somebody last week said in the chat there was a spider on my desk while I was working on stuff. I found him 2 days later. He popped out from underneath something, scared me to death because I wasn't expecting him. We have a lot of spiders, but for the most part, the ones that make it in the house aren't too bad. But the bugs in Florida and Louisiana and the cockroaches in Virginia, oh. Thank you, Lorna. I love you too. I love the friendships that are building as a result of this wonderful online crafting community. Thank you for welcoming me so much into your circle. Some of you guys have been doing this stuff a lot longer than I have, and I really appreciate all the support. We all march to different drummers, and it's great that we can come together under a common theme of, creating from our heart. And that makes a difference. That's, creating the stuff you love versus creating stuff because you think you have to. Yeah, you can keep your bugs, Lala. No, thank you. And it's interesting, even though we're still in California and we're just in a slightly different place, we get different bugs here, of course, and it's kind of fascinating to see the different ones that we can get. All right, this assembly line is going to work better, I think. Ooh, those lights are going to make me hot, though. Put the lights on to get rid of the shadows, and wow. Yeah, for people that didn't go out a lot, the YouTube connection really helps us not feel quite so isolated. All right, no, I'm not going to stop and glue. I'm going to get everything cut, then I can glue. Well, I'm glad they put the plexiglass shields up for you, Lala. They did that a while ago here, and I'm glad for that. And I'm glad we can do so many things like, a lot of people I know have success ordering their groceries online. We haven't done that, but, we have been ordering other supplies online. And, we can do our banking online, and we can do our video chats, which I haven't done a lot of those, but I've done a few video chats with friends, and they have been really fun. I've really enjoyed them. Oh, allergic to spiders. Yeah, that would make it a little bit different. We're lucky that really the only ones we have to worry about here that are dangerous are the black widows and the brown recluse. And I haven't seen a brown recluse here. I'm sure they're here. I just haven't seen them. I see the black widows every so often, but I was used to spotting those, and those are the only ones that I'm sorry I kill right away because they're almost always right by the front door, someplace that we're going to travel a lot, and I don't need any more of those around. So yeah, those guys I let go. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, thank you for the kind words. What kit did you buy? Oh, I guess I should do that. I should at least put my shop thing in here. Let's see. This always takes me a bit to remember to not leave anything out. Let's see. Oh, you bought one of Lorna's kits. I'm sorry, but that does remind me to go ahead and put mine in there. Lorna's kits are awesome. Did you by any chance get her woodland kit? It was so pretty. Hey, Jude, you know how much I love saying that? How are you doing today? Happy Wednesday. Are you having a great day? I came here to my happy place to forget about all the stuff that doesn't have to do with art. That's what I want to do today. Forget about anything that doesn't have to do with art. So we're doing simple, simple little envelope pocket stuffs. Oh, and I also forgot to tell you all, or maybe you guys already know this, but if you don't, and if you like a letter from the bookmaker to put in your journals, I have one on my website, which is just poppiness.com, and you can download that for free and put it in your journals. Just don't sell it as a digital, but a lot of people wonder how to explain what a junk journal is, and so after reading a few other letters, I kind of wrote one of my own that seemed to work for me, and it's available there for you guys to download for free. Oh, her birds. Yeah, I love Lorna's kits. They are beautiful. We've got a lot of talented people creating kits. It's and for any of you who have purchased my kits, I sure appreciate the support. Facebook, tosses up memories that tell you what you were doing a year ago and 2 years ago and what have you. And 2 years ago, I was still working on fitting out the studio. The studio was done, the floor was in, everything was painted. I was still working on the paper tower, and I was waiting for the delivery of the studio island. That was 2 years ago. A year ago, I created my first digital kit. So it's just been a year that I've been doing the digis, and the response has been wonderful. So you guys make me want to get out there. I got to get out there and do some more eco prints now that the weather's nice. Plus the stuff dries so fast when it's nice weather out here. And this weekend we're going to tackle the garage so that I can set up some more art things out in the garage, because in a couple months it'll be too, it's like this happy medium. It's nice right now to be outside. It's hot, but it's not unbearable. But in a couple months I won't be able to work out there. Bye, Laura. Thanks for being here. Oh, Jude, thank you for posting Lorna's. You're 2 years old, Lorna. That's great. All right, so then I aspire to catch up with you. Well, not catch up with you, but to follow your path. I'm also happy, though. I mean, the shop, at the end of the year, at the end of 2019, I think I had like 40 items in the shop, and I've got over 80 items in the shop now. So, it's continuing to grow. I just, it's that balancing thing. Like so many of us, I mean, balance is hard. And I get working on journals, and I don't want to work on the digis, and I get working on digis, and I don't want to work on the journals. So I think reducing the stuff I have so much tissue paper. I am trying to think of more ideas of things to do with solid color tissue paper. What do you guys like to, I can put it, over book text, but I would like to come up with something different maybe. Whoops, what am I doing? Well, okay, this one's going to be a little different. Cheryl, the best advice I can give you for learning to create digitals is to pick your program that you want to work in. Pick your art program that you want to work in, and then learn how to do everything you can possibly do in that program. Some people like Photoshop, some people like Photoshop Elements, some people like other things. But first you pick your program, and then you learn how to do your basics in the program, and then you can think about doing digitals. But if you've never done an art program, used any kind of an art program before digitally, you've got to conquer that learning curve first. And nobody can give you specific instructions because it all depends on what art program you're using. How many years in video? I think it's been about a year and a half. When I go to my YouTube channel, it shows that I was, that I've been on YouTube longer, but that's because I was posting things about dog training and my native garden, and most of those are deleted. There's a few still there. But I think it's been about 1.5 years. I have to look it up. It seems like maybe it's been about 2 years. Yeah, stamping on them. I guess that's what I'm trying not to use a lot of stamps, but I guess I should just to use them. Maybe I'll do that next week. Maybe I'll just bring out a bunch of that tracing paper and we'll do a bunch of stamping and stenciling on it. That I was going to stencil tags and journaling cards today, and honestly, it felt, when I started cleaning off the desk, I thought it just felt like too much. It was just too much thinking. You're welcome, Cheryl. You know, once you understand your program, then a lot of the other stuff, then you can ask specific questions to people, and it'll make a lot more sense to you. But Lorna and I could tell you things now and you'd still kind of go, huh, if you're not used to one. And what's nice is with YouTube, I mean, heck, most all the programs, I mean, I use a weird program that most people don't even know about, and yet I can still find tutorials on that program. So you can go to YouTube and you can find, you know, tutorials on how to use just about any program now. So wait a minute, Lorna, you said something I was going to comment. So since lockdown, your digital marketing has tripled the shop. You've made more in 2 months than in 2 years. That is amazing. I will say that this month has been my most successful digitally, and my Dragonfly kit, which is the most recent kit, has been next to my Eco Prints, has been like the most popular one. I've also got some really fabulous gals working on my design team, and I'm just so lucky. They are creative people. And I will offer, you know, I think I put it in my community the other day, if anybody here wants to do a one-time guest design team project using something from my shop, let me know. And I'm happy to send you something to play with, as long as you'll do a video and post it. That's the only requirement. 90 kits in 2.5 months. Wow. I have about 40 kits sitting in the queue. They're just waiting for me to make the Etsy photos for, which is just, you know, that's the most time-consuming thing for me. And then about 10 more in various, I don't know, they're just sitting there. Hey, Mary Lou, happy to see you here. Welcome. Hope you are having a good Wednesday. I'm feeling like I'm in the zone now, people. Wow, here we go. Now we're going to be doing some gluing. Oh, I guess I'm going to cut my holes first. Yeah, I think doing not super brain intense stuff for a little bit in the lives is good. So yeah, maybe I'll do that with the tissue paper. And I could just decoupage before. I could decoupage them onto some book text and then come out and stamp and stencil and what's I tell you, there's no motivation for making more kits than it is to have people buying the kits you already have in the shop. I don't know about you, Lorna, but that's what I find for me. I make a couple sales and then suddenly I'm like, oh, I got to get back to work on my kits. Thanks for the thumbs up. 17 people watching. That makes me happy. I am seriously thinking I'm going to shred, because I know that it's going to keep coming up, but I think I'm going to shred a lot of the book text that I have just sitting in various places in the studio that, you know, that's not like the old book text. It's just books I've taken apart for various reasons. I'm just going to shred it and put it in my paper making box, because every time I look at things that are taking up space in the studio now, I want to open my supply areas and just be overwhelmed with stuff that I want to play with, not stuff that I feel obligated to use up. Oh, and speaking of stuff that I want to play with, I don't know if you saw I don't think I put it on Instagram. I maybe only did it on Facebook. So I have a friend who, for a long time, had a physical shop, antique shop. And then she closed it down and she was just doing mostly online stuff. And during this lockdown, she has been cleaning up her sheds where she had all her excess supplies. And she had posted some things that she was getting rid of and, you know, asked if anybody wanted them, and she was giving different things away. And so she posted how she was sorry that she was going to have to toss a bunch of vintage linens because they had holes in them or stains in them, and she wasn't able to sell them. And I immediately piped up. It just happened to be one of those times I was online at the right time, piped up and said that I would be more than happy to take them off her hands. And she could send them to me, and I would, you know, pay her for the postage and what have you. So I got the box from her, and it was a sewing machine box packed full of vintage linens, hankies, doilies, and then she said, I found some lace and I threw it in. So a lot of the lace is polyester, but I can still, you know, dye it and use it in various things. So I laundered it yesterday, and I had one laundry basket, and we're talking big rectangular laundry baskets, full of lace, and one full of hankies, linens, doilies, pieces of tablecloths. Oh my goodness, there is so much stuff there. So I'll do a haul. I've got to iron the linens because some of them, you know, small little doilies out of linen, and they just kind of rolled into little balls. So I'm going to iron all of those, and I will do a haul video. But I'm going to be doing some vintagey stuff because I have got, whoops, what was I doing? I cut that completely off. Yeah, so it was an amazing score. I know, she's like, can't sell them. And I'm thinking, you know what? I would have no problem using those holes at all. So it was a win for her because she said they've been sitting in her shed for like 8 years and she was going to toss them, and it was a huge win for me. I am just super excited to start playing with them. So how many of you guys use polyester lace? Most of it is white, so I figured I can dye it. I think it might be less obvious that it's polyester, and then a lot of it's ruffled, so if I take the gathering thread out, it's flattened up and you get rid of the really polyester feel to it. It feels a lot better when it's not ruffled. Hi Terry, I didn't see you sneak in, and I'm glad you invited a friend. Hi Tammy, welcome, welcome. Yes, it is eco-dyeing season. I am anxious to get out there. I might do some this week. Okay, let's just glue some of these babies together. And see these little scraps? I'm going to have to throw them in my paper thing. Make sure I got the right glue. Let's see if anything wants to come out. Hopefully. Yeah, so let me know if you use polyester lace, and if so, do you dye it? Oh, I guess I need a little more. I guess I should have done it this way, huh? I haven't done these for a while. Out of the loop. Oh, I probably should have cut my hole first, huh? I brought my hole punches out. Wow. Yeah, everything has leafed out. Stuff in the upper property, which is higher, is blooming. I have less blooming in the back. Most of my eco printing is with leaves because I tend to leave the flowers for the birds and the bees. Sometimes I can go get some, but okay. Yeah, should do this before. And of course, there's a little because I didn't glue things straight. Stop cutting. No, I didn't hear you, Mary Lou. Yeah, alcohol ink does dye it, but it gets expensive. Distressed oxides, I don't have any of those yet. Maybe I need to get some of those. I need to make a bunch of alcohol inks with all the ridiculous amount of Sharpies I have. Okay, let's punch all these holes first. That would be good sense, right? We're going to do an assembly line. Let's see, so yeah, part of me thinks I want to dye a bunch of it ahead of time, and I'll wrap, well, I know I can't, it doesn't work when I eco dye because I have thrown the polyester in there with my eco dyes. Can kind of rest dye it, but I think I'll probably do the alcohol inks, or so, I don't know. I'll figure something out, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and dye it ahead of time. And then I saw, I always get inspired. I don't know if anybody watches Annalise. I may be saying that wrong. She's in Sweden, and I love her style of journal making. And she's got, when she gets down to start making a lot of ephemera for her journals, she just has these plastic bags of things in different colors. Like maybe she's dyed a bunch of greens or a bunch of the turquoises or something like that. So maybe if I dye things in color blocks. I just have too much of everything, so I want to figure out what I want to keep. And if I'm going to sell the lace, should I dye it before I sell it? Might be a little more exciting for people. I can put them in my, yeah, do that. Then I can put some in the flow journals. Polyester works on coffee dyeing. Oh, okay, that's good to know. The pads with the blending tool, not the liquid. Okay. Even after I've dyed something with color, I like to sometimes dip it in some coffee dye just to get that extra kind of grunge. I like a grunge. I like something. Aaron posted, I think it was Aaron. Somebody posted on the last journal flip that I had did, like my favorite compliment ever. She said that the journal looked like it had just fallen out of a tree. And I love that. That was like awesome. That is exactly the kind of look that I was hoping for. So I like grunge for that. All right. Now, this will be a lot easier to do these, yeah, when they're not already glued. Why not make it easy on ourselves, right? Let's. Oh, another week and you'll be opened up. You guys really did a good job in New Zealand getting everything under control in a hurry. All right, I don't know. I don't have it over here either. I forgot to bring all the stuff over to this desk to show you. I got the cutest little punch the other day. I had been putting off buying it because it wasn't a cheap one, but it's a Fisker's corner punch, but each one has got little leaves on it. I didn't want something that was too frou-frou, and it seemed to go right with my thing, and I just, I'm in love with it. So that was the other thing I was going to do, is I was going to do a whole bunch of those little folded pieces of paper with just little punches to dress them up that make good little journaling spots. Yeah, you like getting there ahead of everybody. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think I'm maybe even a little more worried about the second wave that they think is going to hit us all, because people are going to think, oh, okay, we're free, we can go do everything we used to. I know they're saying that restaurants here, when they open up, are going to have to probably do the social distancing, so they'll have, fewer tables, and the wait staff will probably have to wear masks. And I think it'll be a long time before I feel comfortable sitting in a little restaurant again. So I feel bad for so many small businesses that just, maybe can't handle this. It's going to be tough on them. It's funny how you're not real motivated to do anything, and you get out here with hanging out with friends, and the same thing as if I was doing it on a one-on-one video chat with a friend, and suddenly you want to just keep going, and you get, I don't know, doing a little bit of even simple busy work like this, my brain keeps thinking, okay, what am I going to put in these? How am I going to decorate them? And I'm wondering, maybe I shouldn't, if I'm going to decoupage a napkin on these, maybe I shouldn't do, maybe we'll do that. I'm going to leave these, I won't glue them. We'll do half and half. And that way I can do a napkin on those and then cut and glue and all that good stuff. These guys can just be simple little ones. So I want to know, what is the thing you've made lately that you have really enjoyed making? The process of making it just made you really happy. And I would say for me, it was the last journal I did just made me so happy. Well, I didn't manage to fold these straight at all, did I? Oh well. And then I start thinking about style, and I guess probably what made me very happy about doing the last journal is I felt like it was really my style. I nailed my style, and that's great. But then you start thinking about, if I'm going to make another one just like it, at what point is it still your style? If you're doing, maybe the same kind of images and quotes and stuff, and at what point is it just repetition? I don't know what my own personal answer is on that. I'll have to be thinking on that one. I'm going to have to do some cleanup. $20 below. Woo! How did I manage to fold everything so crooked? I don't know. I'll just do that on the back. That would be better. Okay. I make everything harder because that is the Susan way of doing things. Don't make it simple, make it hard on yourself. Seems to be the story of my life. And I'm really anxious to get back to sewing some things. I think maybe I might just make a bunch of patchworky pieces of fabric that I can cut apart for journal bases. Hey, Nettie. Hi, how you doing today? And thank you. I just kind of wanted to do something simple that I didn't have to think about too much. Terry, you need to send me a note later and update me on how all your stuff is going on the computer, okay? I want to hear. I've been thinking about you and wondering how you were doing. Yeah, I'm going to go sit in the garden when we're done here. I'm going to take my book. And oh, I forgot to bring a glue sheet just because. Oh, let's just use the thing that I forgottenly cut off. Everybody's chat's behind. I'm wasting digital making time. Oh, yeah, Lorna, you're right. I have got so much scanning to do. Oh, I've got to do that too. I don't like scanning. It just takes so much time. But I think I'm going to have if I clean up the living room, I can rationalize asking my husband to bring the scanner out of his office into the living room, and then I can scan while we watch TV. I just hate to take up valuable digital making time to scan. because all the stuff I need, well, not all the stuff I need, but a lot of the stuff that I want to use in the upcoming journals are papers that need to be scanned before I can use them. Mary Lou, yes, the second wave, people are going to get this false sense of security and go out and about. And yeah, we're just going to stay here in our little house making digitals and scanning things and watching the butterflies, all that good stuff. I just never do well following, I keep thinking, okay, if you would just allocate, certain days of the week to scanning and certain days of the week to digital work and certain days of the week to journal making or hours of the day. But, when I worked in the corporate world, that also didn't work for me. I just I bounce from project to project and I follow whatever interests me at the moment. Oh, I hated filing. I hated my own filing. Mostly my filing now is I open a drawer and I toss it in there, and once every couple of months I do all the business records. Sales tax stuff coming up. But I'm actually, after some time in the garden, I'm actually in cleanup mode. I really want to I've got to get the island completely cleaned off. It needs to have nothing on it for me to start on the flow books, because I need to be able to put out a bunch of piles of things to put in there. Yeah, sales tax is a headache, Janet, and my digital shop was late getting launched because I could not get a straight answer from various people because the rules on digital sales kept changing because people, it was new. And there's a lot of overlap there. And I could not get a clear answer from anybody over sales tax. Even my own accountant, he turned me over to the gal that does the sales tax for his office, and I still didn't feel comfortable with the answers I was getting, because I was not going to have my digitals on Etsy. I was going to run everything off my website. But then I, figured out that was another thing, the value-added tax for anything going outside of the United States. And that's what convinced me that I needed to use Etsy instead, because they take care of all of that. Now I only have to worry about sales tax for, people that shop here locally. And I have a company, a corporation that I did some journals for, that thus far has been the only place that I've had to charge sales tax so far, because there have not been any shows or open studios or anything like that. And in fact, I just got a notice about open studios this year that I don't think they're going to do them this year. They're going to do something different. I haven't read it all. So hopefully sales tax is supposed to be easy this year, just a simple form online. I just hate any of that kind of tax stuff, property taxes, income tax. I want to get it all done. As soon as it's due, I want to get it done and over with, and then know how much money I've got left in my account. Oh, still waiting for your refund? Oh, yeah, we did ours like in February. Boom. Had the money in our bank account like, gosh, within a couple days. It seemed like a week maybe. Oh, Lorna, that stinks. I guess our stuff is lucky in that it's offset, because my husband's still, working a regular job. If it was just, my art stuff, then I would be paying estimated taxes. But we have enough taken out with his job that it covers that stuff. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with all of these, and now somehow just the process of making them, ideas pop up. And I've got a bunch of the little, I got to glue these down, little faux glassine bags that I made with tracing paper, because I like having those just that I can put a bunch of little loose things in when I'm shipping something out. Oh wow, that must be something in Canada, Lorna, because here, I mean, my business is separate. Of course, as a writer for, years and years and years. I mean, I always had my own business, but that's just, we filed jointly, and he files his for his day job, and I file mine with the business, but it still goes in there jointly. It's not a problem to do that. But the rules are different, I know, between Canada and the US and the rest of the world. And it's nice that, I had a profit, with my business, because the last few years that I was writing, my royalties had gotten so low that there really wasn't a profit of any kind. But boy, Etsy makes you jump through a lot of hoops to find all the information you need to file your taxes. Boy, and then you pick something up and you totally forget what you were doing. We've had a lot of that happening around here lately. We open the pantry, going in to get something, and by the time you open the pantry door, you've totally forgotten what you're going in there for. Walk into the studio because I was going to go pick something up, walk in there, look at everything, and walk back out again because I have no idea what I went in there for. Bye, Lala. I'm sure happy to have seen you here today. Thank you. You take care. Yeah, they just, they don't make it easy for us to find what we need to find. That's for darn sure. Whoops, got a little excess glue there. Come on, there we go. I think I ended up having to go to the community forums to find what I need. I don't know. It was a pain. It was a pain. Well, I knew that was going to be too long, and yet still. So has everybody got lots of craft supplies to keep them busy? I got my order for of thread. That was the only thing I needed some more of. And then since my friend sent me all the linens and lace, the only thing I was having any kind of withdrawals from was going to the thrift stores to look for linen and lace. And now I'm not having any withdrawals about that. So I feel like I could stay home another 6 months. I would have no problem. I don't need to go buying anything. I do like looking for old books at the bookstores, or the used bookstores and the thrift stores, but I got a lot of that too. I am going to do a haul video. I'm going to iron, probably when I come in from the garden, I'll iron the linens, and maybe I can do that haul video tomorrow. I mean, it's amazing, the stuff that's in there. I just, so many linens. I've got a few vintage linens. I have a lot of lace, but the thing that I've really been trying to search for when I go out have been doilies and tablecloths and anything that isn't lace. It's more linen, because I can kind of work with that with my naturey things. The lace, I can't use, I mean, unless I do want to make some fabric books and fabric journals that will be more like for a wedding. But using just straight lace a lot doesn't happen for me. But the linens will work with my nature stuff. And so this was just an amazing gift. But there's a lot of ironing. Maybe I'll do that while we watch TV tonight, because it's going to take me a long time to go through a whole laundry basket full of linens. to iron. And hankies, oh, great. And they're almost all, there's a couple colors, but for the most part, they're all that wonderful aged off-white and beige. Yeah, Lorna. I did order, I take that back, I did order some stuff on eBay the other day because a friend had recommended some books that she was using in her journals that I just fell in love with, and I went over to eBay and found them. And so whenever they come in, they can sit in the garage for a month. I'd forgotten that I had done that. Yeah, your French papers are awesome. But I think my next focus is going to be getting rid of some of this stuff that I don't need, because I can't even find the good stuff that I want to play with. And then you can't walk through our garage right now because construction stopped on the sunroom, of course, when all this happened. So there's like huge rolls of insulation and other stuff that was just moved out of the way. The insulation isn't going to be used. It's left over. So we need to find a place to put that kind of stuff. And it's just a one-car garage. And then I've got a door from when we did something in the house here. So an old door on top of 2 cabinets, and then it's got cubbies on top of it. That's going to be a place for me to do some of the messy stuff or bulky stuff out in the garage. So I bought a laminator so that I can laminate some dried flowers. And I want to do my waxing out there. And then the eco dyeing, I've got a big turkey roaster that I want to try for eco dyeing. And it's in the garage, because that way when it's 100 degrees here, I can still go outside and work, because the garage won't be quite as bad and I won't be standing out in the sun. Oh, wow. Wedding dresses that, I'm sorry that your friend's business folded, but wow. I never found a wedding dress. I'm tempted to take my wedding dress apart. Catching up on chat here. Nettie, where are you that things are opening up, you think, next week? Terry. Pinterest is a rabbit hole. Happens to all of us. You go looking for an idea and how to do one thing, and I was looking for some ideas on how to use something, and then that, I fell down the Pinterest rabbit hole, which then led me back to YouTube, and we already know what a rabbit hole YouTube is. And I was like, wait a minute, this is insane, to stop. And then I look up and I've got like 65 tabs open on my browser, and I'm wondering why everything's slowing down. It's like, well, duh. Okay, that's those. Now I want to switch to the other glue. I don't think, are these folded? These are not folded. They're cut, or they're not glued. They're cut but not glued. Oh, you're in Manitoba. Okay, so yeah, we have a few people in Canada. This is my last bit of Mondo glue. I am so happy for that. Discovered that it does work well on the tracing paper. Makes it invisible pretty much if I don't put too much on. And so it's interesting how you can cut, you can use the same pattern and you can have 2 entirely different looks. So I like that. All right. I think Canada is one of those places I would like to visit if I wasn't going to, well, I don't travel well. I'm a crappy traveler. I really am. But the scenery, Canada, Alaska, some of the scenery just looks amazing. I'm just really, really bad traveler. And of course, if you wanted yet another look, you could do your glassine ones, do like glassine envelopes, not pockets, and then stitch them. And the stitching on the glassine looks completely, well, tracing paper looks completely different. Well, this is good. This will take me, I think gluing these down will take me to the end of my time, and then I can go on to next steps, filling them and decorating them. I guess decorating them and then filling them. Let's do this in the right order. Trying not to press down too hard so I don't get too many bumps, but it's the back. You're not going to see it once stuff is inside it. Every time I can finish something up, you know, use it up and throw something away, gosh, that feels good. So I am down to like half a bottle of this. It'd be great to toss that one. I also have some of this really narrow score tape that works on these. I have no idea what I was thinking. I have got a bunch of score tape in different sizes. I have never been a card maker. I understand a lot of people use score tape for making cards. I've never been a card maker, so I don't know why I thought I needed all that score tape. So I can use it for holding down fabric, you know, on book covers and stuff, but still, what was I thinking? Let's see. Amanda, did you pop in? Oh, you did. Hi. Happy to see you here. Hope you're having an okay Wednesday, all things considered. I know you've been having a rough time lately. I'm doing something that is absolutely not needing my brain. Just making a bunch of little pockets. And I do have the sale is still going on in my shop through the end of this month. Everything in the shop is 20% off. I am looking forward to filling these up. I've got a whole bunch of fussy cut magazine cutouts. I think I'm going to be putting in some of these, I guess, by themes. Some of it's pretty scenery, some of it's flat. Yeah, same thing here. Where I used to live, everything was pretty flat. And then we moved over the mountain, and now we've got hills and valleys and green because we've got fog here, especially during the summertime. We have a lot of fog, which is nice. It can hold the heat off sometimes. Yeah, no brain needed making PNGs. Well, except for the cleanup. Sometimes, depending on what you're working on, sometimes the cleanup can need a lot of brain power. Kind of, if I need to fall asleep, though, that's something I'll do because after a while, my eyes just glaze over. It's like, okay. Whenever I think I need something for a kit, and I was like, okay, it's just going to be a real quick project to clean this one up, and then boom, you know, an hour later, I'm still picking pixels out. I didn't realize I had made so many tracing paper bags. Wow. And I know some people like to cut when they're doing the faux glassine ones, they like to cut it with, shoot, I see where my glue smeared, with the pinking shears. Doesn't work for me, so I don't like it. I decided not to do it. Doggone it. Let's get the rest of that glue out. Okay, there we go. That's better. Must be time to hydrate. It's like you want to drink enough water while you're filming to keep your voice hydrated, but not enough that you have to run off to the bathroom. You love mind-numbing work. You've got good patience then, Lorna. I go back, I mean, no, I shouldn't say that sometimes I do. No, I don't like mind-numbing work. Mind-numbing work to me was when I worked in corporate, so I just assume not have any of that mind-numbing work. But, you know, at different times of the day, different types of work are better for me. So I go back and forth. And I'm fortunate, you know, since I am self-employed, that I can just work at my own pace. It's like, okay, today I want to do this, tomorrow I want to do that. There's a bunch of leaves that are fresh that I need to get to before the bugs do. And I've been putting it off because I did want to do a film on how I dry my leaves, or video, a film. Yeah. This year's Oscar winner, How I Dry My Leaves. I'm thinking that's not going to be a win. We've been watching a lot of TV lately, catching up on shows that had been around on the regular network for years and we hadn't seen. So that's been kind of fun. So there's certain things I can do while we're watching TV. I cannot create from scratch when we're watching TV, but I can do a lot of editing and scanning. Did I use a template? No, all I did, let's see if I have one. I can do it with this. I'm just grabbing book text because I did a bunch of them like this and the glassines are the same way. And I just folded a little edge. If you wanted to be particular, you could do a scoreboard, but I'm not that particular. And then fold it over. And also if you were trying to fit a certain thing, like if you were trying to fit an ATC card in it or something, you would have to measure on that. And fold that over. And then when you have your folds to reduce the bulk, I cut to the corner there and then cut to an angle. And what's nice about simple things like this is that you don't need a template, you don't need a certain size paper. There you go. And then you fold that over and you glue down your flaps and you're done. And so it works with it's a great way to use up your book text things because you can use it with any size whatsoever. Put that one over there with those. And the same thing with the glassine bags. You know, it's just the same idea. I just cut rectangles. So you can see that's just the same shape. So I just cut rectangles of tracing paper in various sizes. Whoops, why'd you take it off, Jude? It is, it's very easy, and I like things where, you know, I watched some videos where they make some really beautiful, intricate envelopes or pockets or something, and they're like, and a lot of them are people that come from card making where stuff has to be kind of precise because they're trying to do a particular something, and it's like 3 inches and 4 centimeters and from here and there, and my mind, as soon as I start hearing numbers and math, my brain just shuts down and says, nope, there's got to be something easier. And so this style has been around for ages, and it's because it's so simple and you don't have to measure. And you certainly can if you wanted to have them all the same size in your journal, but since I know I'm just going to be filling these with stuff to go in the flow books, the size really doesn't matter. I did some a particular size for the ATCs that I had worked on a while back. And then I realized the reason I had a shoebox full of ATCs in progress is because I really didn't see much of a use for the ATCs. So I'll probably cover them with coffee stain paper and make them into journaling cards. Let's see, do I have... See if I can do this without bumping the camera. So remember the playing cards that we covered with book text, and then I did the clear things on them. So then it's nice because you can see it, you know, just enough to know there's something in there. But if I was wanting to make that specifically for that card, I would measure it around the card. Oh, thank you, Jude. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jude put up a link to the shop, and like I said, sale until the end of April. 2 months at 20% off. I figure if you were going to shop, you probably already did. And I appreciate the support. And I appreciate anybody that's ever bought from the shop that leaves a review. It's amazing to me, the people that don't bother to go back and leave a review from a shop, because it does help us shop owners. As long as they're positive reviews. Don't leave a bad review. Oh my goodness, Lorna, that's scary. You have windows open that the wind could get in there and do that? Yeah, that would terrify me. Whew. Loud noises out of nowhere, that would get me every time. Every time. Lamp is in pieces. Oh no, hope it wasn't a favorite. Don't get cut on anything. We have this bottle opener that's mounted on the wall, you know, for opening bottles of soda or beer. And every once in a while, it just, instead of popping the top off, it just breaks the bottle in half, or the bottle, you know, neck in half. And I always get scared when there's broken glass. Don't want anybody to get cut. So, Lorna, are you looking at the pieces and thinking, is there anything you can use in a journal? Bits of chain and, ooh, that one again, I got some glue on. Okay, I made a mess here. I know you're surprised. Susan made a mess. And now I can't tell which ones are glued and which ones are not. So I was putting them in the wrong place. Okay. These guys are glued. I'll move them off to the side, out of the way. Oh, you're eyeing the Edith 6000. Did you guys know, those of you who know Edith Holden and the Edith Holden books that we love so much, that there's a line of Edith Holden lamps? One of the gals on my design team, Emily Plowfield, found an Edith Holden lamp at a thrift store. And her husband rewired it for her, and now she's got it in her studio. I had no idea. I mean, we knew there's, you know, the different books and there's calendars and some other odds and ends, but evidently there's a line of lamps from ages ago. It's the thrift shop lamp, okay. Still, sometimes those are our favorites. I was looking at pictures of where we used to live, and there was a lamp I used to have in my office. I'm so sorry I got rid of it. I don't remember what my rationale was, but I wish I had it now. It's hard to tell when you're moving from one place and you don't know where you're going to land yet. It's like we knew we needed less stuff, but some of the stuff we got rid of I wish we'd kept, and some of the stuff we kept I'm thinking, why did we keep? Because we just have to get rid of it now. But I think we've pretty much unpacked everything that needs unpacking. We've been here 5 years now. We're just not done renovating. Not sure when I'll feel okay having the construction guys come back and come to work. You know, because you've got no control over where all these other people have been living and working and what they've been doing. I think I heard something about a calendar, Nettie. It seems like there was, you know, if you look on eBay for Edith Holden, all kinds of different things pop up. I think I also saw Edith Holden stamps, but that might have been a more recent thing. Maybe somebody in her family was doing that, because I know her family guards the copyright pretty well. Okay, water. Yeah, Tiffany lamps are awesome. And that's not that I had a Tiffany lamp, but this was a faux Tiffany lamp, the one that I'm sorry I got rid of. You know, it had the base, a really heavy metal bronze base, and then the shade was not a real Tiffany, but it was in that style, and I just loved it. And I don't know why I decided that I wasn't going to, maybe because, I don't know. No, but towards the end when we were getting rid of stuff, we were just kind of brain dead thinking we've got too much stuff. We had stuff in my in-laws' garage. We had stuff in 2 storage units. And then we had stuff we took to the apartment with us that we ended up staying in for like a year. We had way too much stuff. And we still have way too much stuff, but at least it's less. Yeah, the books are, they're like gold. I know. I did not find mine on eBay. When I bought my Edith Holden books, I've got a nice stash of them now. I found them on Amazon looking at, other sellers, and I was able to grab a few that way. I do have a few videos. I think there's a series of 4 videos of the books that I look for when I'm thrift shopping. Not that I'm going to be doing that because I have way too many books. Yeah, exactly. They're pretty tight. And I know, well, even our contractor, his daughter is an ER nurse. So right there, even though we don't have a lot of cases in our area, still, there's that concern. And his daughter's husband is on his crew. So I don't think we need to have another inspection for like 2 months. So I guess we'll kind of wait and see on that. I don't know. We might ask for an extension a little bit more. I'm sorry we didn't get it done maybe before the lockdown happened. But, oh well. What are you going to do when there's a pandemic, right? You just got to have to roll with it. You don't have a choice. Hey, Jessica. Happy to see you here. Hope you are having a good Wednesday. I am just gluing down some envelopes, just trying to finish up some projects so I can stuff them with goodies. I guess these envelopes are pockets. Well, I don't know. They're faux glassine envelopes and book page pockets. That's funny. We call one thing and one the other when they're made basically the same way. And I still have gobs of tracing paper because for some reason, like everything else, I see somebody doing something with tracing paper and it's like, oh, I haven't bought any in a while. I should order some more. And then it gets here and I realize I already had like maybe 3 more pads of tracing paper. Ooh, cold rain. Yeah, I think our rain is done for the year. I don't think we'll have any more until probably October or November. So it was not a bad rain year, but we always need more here in California, and we don't irrigate any of our property except for our fruit trees, and they only get irrigated from our gray water system. So they get watered when we take a shower or do laundry, but otherwise, we don't have any sprinkler systems going. So I always want as much rain as possible to soak into the ground, and we don't have any water tanks. So we just keep hoping that that there's enough in there to keep everything going. Our plants, if you want to grow in this yard, you got to be strong. You got to be hardy. You got to be willing to take the hardship of our hot summers. Yeah, I love tracing paper too. And vellum, which I've got a lot of vellum and I meant to put in my last journal and I forgot. And I got to color a bunch of this stuff too. But that's one of the things I like to use with alcohol inks, and I need to do that outside. I don't like to do that in the house because the smells really get to me. Outside, the smells are not nearly as bad. This glue is lasting a lot longer than I thought. It doesn't even look like it's going down. That's okay. I'm going to get to the bottom of this bottle soon. Now I have a bunch of hot glue to use up because I really do not use hot glue that much. And I need to, yeah, some rain. I wish you could send me some rain. Well, not right now though. It's been nice having, it's not too hot yet, so I'm in my happy zone here with spring. Last night, I guess we were able to open the house up about 9 o'clock, and it was wonderful. It was cool. The fresh air comes in. Didn't hear our owl, but some nights we can hear the great horned owls, which I just love. When we lived on the other side of the mountain in the city, you didn't hear anything except for ambulances and horns honking and people fighting. So really glad to be away from the city and out in the country. It is hump day. Anybody else forget what day of the week it is a lot? We do that all the time now. It's like, it's Monday. No, it's Wednesday. No, it's Friday. And then my husband had to work on Sunday, and so that totally threw us off too, because it felt like it's Monday, but it wasn't. So he's had a long week already. And he was working at like 5 a.m. He had to check in. It was like, ugh. Yeah, it's a good point. It does make a nice tack it in place kind of thing. I never like to use hot glue for anything that as the only glue for something that's going to be permanent. And you can do the little the faux wax seals with hot glue. I bought one of those mini hot glue guns because I thought that would be better for holding some stuff in place, but it's almost more awkward to use than my big one. And I haven't, gosh, my big glue gun is probably 30 years old and still working like crazy. So even though it's got scads and scads of glue dried up all over it. So the mini glue gun just, it's like, no, that's not for me. Maybe I'll do some faux wax seals with that and use it up and then toss the little glue gun. But if I'm going to do something like E6000 and I have to, it's going to take a while, then yeah, the hot glue is nice for that. I have a bunch. I was looking out in the garage and trying to remember what all I had out there that I might want to use up. I found, I don't know, probably 30 spice jars full of semi-precious stones that I had got when I thought, I was going, they're like the size of beads. I thought I was going to be doing some mosaics with them. So I'm going to have to do some mixed media covers, I guess. I can't think of what else to do with them. Was not cheap. I don't remember why I was crazy and thought I needed those. I must have seen some. I know what happens with me because I'm an impulse buyer. I see somebody do a video and I love the project, and so then I start ordering all the stuff in the project, not stopping to think if it's, number one, in my skill set, number two, something I'm really going to follow through on. So that's probably what I did with these semi-precious stones. And I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful stones, but they don't have holes in them, so I can't use them like beads. I don't know. I suppose I could maybe just put them in little baggies and sell them. I got to think of something else to do with them. Is that the kind of stuff you use in your brooches, Terry? It's just nuts. So if nothing else, maybe all this lockdown and not being able to go wander around in shops and impulse shop is just making me think twice about what I have, what I use, how I use it. Oh, a coloring book of Edith Holden designs. That's cool. I did find my big stack of coloring books that have never been used, so I need to make some big covers. And then I think I also found a bunch of rings, and I don't do ring bound journals, but I was thinking for a coloring book journal, maybe that would be the thing to do, is do them ring bound, because then you could take them out and color them and put them back in your journal. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or should I just bind it like a regular journal? But then, I don't know, it'd just be harder to color in, I think. Good for wrappings. Oh, to do wire wrappings? Is that what you mean, Terry? I have not done that. I bet there's a whole Pinterest board that I need to go explore on that. Huh. I have lots of wire. Oh, those could be some pretty charms and dangles and stuff, huh? If I can, we'll see how coordinated I am with pliers and tweezers and all that stuff. Yeah, I guess the thing about the ring bound, they would be easy to work on. You don't have to worry about something laying flat. Seems like it would make sense for coloring books. I was thinking what I would do is maybe stitch the coloring pages to some heavier paper so you could do the coloring page on one side and then you could draw or do mixed media on the other side. Not worry about doing a lot of ephemera in it, but just I just know that I'm not going to color. It's just not my thing, so I should make them into something, and they might sell better if they were in a journal format as opposed to just trying to sell the color book. That way I can mix and match from different coloring books too, so you'd have some variety. Rings for 9. Wait a minute. Oh, thrift books. Thanks for mentioning that one. That's another one that I love because they ship really fast. There's a standard shipping price. Are they the ones that ship free? I think they're the ones maybe that ship free no matter what book you're buying. So you're actually only paying for the book, which is nice. Okay, Terry, I will check that out. Wait a minute. What did Lorna say? Backing up here. Oh, you bought glue gun wax. Oh, I'm probably not even going to do that. I'm just going to do it using the actual glue. I just, yeah, I want that mini glue gun out of my drawer. I'm starting to look at all my drawer space as, okay, this is prime real estate here. I've got a rolling cart that's got 10 drawers in it, and I love it. But I'm thinking, why do the things that I'm not using all the time have prime real estate in there? Tombow watercolor markers. They might even all be dried up by now. I don't know. I've had them for years. When I first started doing art journaling, I really liked them. I don't use them anymore. So now I'm thinking I need to just color a bunch of paper. Just use it to get background color on paper. And I'm wondering if I put them in bottles with alcohol, if it would work like it does when you make your own alcohol inks with Sharpies. But I'm thinking I might just color a bunch of paper, go over it with my water brush, get some backgrounds, and I could stamp on it, and then I would have some more papers. That would be another thing to do in a live, huh? It's just a whole drawer of nothing but Tombow markers. They're just not my thing anymore. Oh, Lorna was Googling the Edith Holden coloring book. Gotcha now. Got it. See, now I'm thinking about my Edith Holden books and thinking maybe I need to do my tracing paper over them and see. I can't draw. In my next life, I would like to be able to draw naturescapes. But maybe I could use my tracing paper as a base and come up with something. Obviously not something I could scan if I'm tracing something from a copyrighted book. Of course we're enablers, because you do the same thing to me all the freaking time. That's what we do for one another. We enable one another. Terry, what do you mean, rings for 9? I don't know whether you said something that I don't understand or maybe typing got in the way. But besides being an enabler, I mean, we also I love that we can ask each other questions and say, you know, well, what did you use to get that technique? And, you know, where can I get it? And can you teach me how to do this? And we share. At least most of the people in my circle share. You know, we share our knowledge. You guys have heard me say that before. I don't believe in hoarding knowledge. I believe we should be sharing our knowledge however we can. You don't enrich your life by keeping all your knowledge to yourself. You enrich your life by sharing your knowledge with somebody else. And maybe that person in particular doesn't have something to teach you, but they're going to somehow open the door for somebody else down the road that's going to share knowledge with you that you need. So I just never understood the need to keep knowledge secret. Oh, fat fingers. I type like that too, Terry. Funny that. Can you send me a link to your Pinterest board on wire wrapping, and then I can pick your brain on it, please, because I know you're a knowledge sharer. I would not have even thought about that. They're awful small, but it'd be interesting. And one of the gals on my design team, Debbie Kipp at Kipp's Corner, her latest journal that she did, she had she does really great mixed media covers for her journal. And she, I think it was like a Tim Holtz frame thingy. I've not seen them because I don't buy a lot of Tim Holtz stuff except for the distresses. But basically it looked like a photo mat, and she had done some crackle effects and stuff like that. And I have a bunch because again, Susan, impulse shopper, a bunch of mats for like 5x7 photos and 4x6 photos when I was selling my photography. And so I was thinking about doing a combination crackle effect and then putting some of these stones in them, and I don't know, seeing what I could come up with for mixed media cover. Bye, Mary Lou. So happy to see you here today. You have a great day, okay? Maybe see you next time. Yay, Jude found it. I hope you didn't mind that I left you as mod status there, Jude. I appreciated your help, and if it bugs you, I can always take you off, but I appreciate it. Yeah, Kipp's Corner is a great channel. Debbie is an amazing artist, and I learn something new every time I look at what she's been working on. And I love that. I love that I am inspired by the people that are using my designs. I love that I learn from them as well. Zoe is groaning over there. She must be exhausted from her walk. So many groans. Wow, I got a lot of envelopes here. I am not going to count them on camera, but there are a lot of envelopes. This is awesome. I do have some of the mini bottles. That's a good idea too, because I could hang those from a spine. Some of them were shipped in mini bottles, so I could, especially if I'm doing something like the mermaid journal. But I'm not really feeling compelled to work on a mermaid journal. I want to do a lot more nature ones. I guess if I did greens and browns, so they sort of look like, I did browns, they would look like stones you collected out maybe a fairy forest. But yeah, I want to, you have to learn how to make a wire cage. Ooh, the next time we have champagne, if I save the wire cage from the champagne and then maybe weave some of my wire around that so you can still see in there. My brain is going. See, this is awesome. I'm going back here looking at chat. So good. Amanda, Nettie, you guys are also finding people are willing to share and people are being kind. Those are the only kind of people I want to hang out with. And I'm lucky. I mean, I've got great people in my circle that are kind and sharing. And if they're not, then it seems that we drift apart. It's just not people that I'm going to hang out with on a regular basis. I might pop in and see their videos once in a while, but they aren't people that channels like that I don't subscribe to, and if I'm subscribed and I watch a few of them and I realize that they're a knowledge hoarder, I tend to unsubscribe because it doesn't work for me. Your mileage may vary, but for me, there are so many talented people out there making videos. There's no way I have enough time to watch them all. Oh my goodness, you know who I saw? I cannot believe that I hadn't seen her before because she's been making videos for a while. She lives in Scotland. Heidi McGregor. Oh, thank you to Tuesday who pointed Heidi's channel out to me, and just beautiful, exquisite books. Makes me think of Jibineri, who I also love. They're one of my ones that I admire. So I think my video viewing time today is I'm getting caught up on watching all of Heidi's videos. Bye, Jessica. You take out. You are not a jerk, Lorna. You are my venting partner in crime. Whenever crap happens, I know that I can message you and vent to you, and you're going to take my side, even if I'm wrong, and listen to me vent and help me get over my hard spot. So, no, you're my partner in crime. You're not a jerk. You might want to pretend you are for some reason or another, but you're not. Oh, hi, Tommy. I know, isn't she amazing? I can't believe that I never saw Heidi before. And Penny, you're here. Yes. Yes, I am like in awe. So that's my gift to myself today, is to get caught up on all her journals. I have a private playlist that I keep called Journal Flips That Wow Me. And I go back sometimes and I look and see, the names that pop up regularly, and it's just, I can tell that Heidi's going to be on there a lot. Lorna, yeah, humor is subjective, and maybe if I didn't know you for a while away from that, I can see, but sorry, girl, you wormed your way into my heart, and now you're stuck there. And I love knowing that when days are going like crap, I can send you a message, and even when you're having a crap day yourself, you still support me, and I love you for that. I won't tell anybody else you're nice, though. Nettie, there is no catching up. I mean, I'm sure we all do this. We save a gazillion videos to watch for later, and then later you go back and realize that, maybe you don't need them anymore. But I'm slowly refining who I subscribe to, because you need to watch different videos at different stages. When you're just starting, you kind of watch everything because you need to absorb the energy of these videos and see, this is a style I like, this is a style that doesn't speak to me, or maybe it's the presenter. The person might be super knowledgeable, but maybe however they're presenting their video, it doesn't work for you. We all learn differently. So some people's teaching methods might not work for you. And so don't feel like, you subscribe to this person, you have to stay subscribed forever. You stick, and not that I'm trying to advocate people, drop subscriptions, but you want to have time to watch the videos that are meaningful to you and that you're going to learn something, or you're going to feel enriched at the end of it. If I watch a video and I'm more frustrated at the end of the video than I am when I start, I kind of reevaluate whether I still need that one, because I might have needed it a year ago. I might have needed that person. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but it's hard to let go of some of that stuff sometimes, and let go of people that we've been watching for a long time. But when I first started, before I even started making videos, but when I first started to really try and concentrate more on art, I was watching a ton of mixed media videos because that's what fascinated me. I wanted to do art journaling. It seemed like that was going to be the natural progression from writing all the time. I was going to do a little bit of writing and a lot of art. And so I had a bunch of people that I really enjoyed watching and I learned some things from. And then I realized that wasn't as much of an appeal to me as actually making the journals. And so then that meant leaving a lot of the mixed media people, because that just wasn't where my interest was anymore. I learned what I needed to. I got inspired, and then as my growth as an artist was evolving, and it was time to go do something else. Catching up here on chat. Only 153, Tommy? Only 153 on your watch list? I don't even want to go look at my count. Yes, some voices are very, very hard for me as well. And some of them is kind of odd, but some of them have sounds in the background that are difficult for me or difficult for my dog. They're like a certain pitch that's hard. And so I watch those on quiet. Country Cottage. I didn't know that one. Nettie, do you turn on the captions? If there's a video that a lot of stuff is fast forward, I mean, a lot of times that's what I'll do when I'm watching TV with my husband. It's sort of like I want to have the TV on, but it's not something I have to concentrate on a lot, and I want to see what a particular video looks like. I put it on mute, and then I put on the closed captions so I can read what they're doing, and that helps. Hello, Jeanette from Ohio. Welcome. I'm getting to the end of my time here, but I'm happy to have you join us. What are you working on this Wednesday? Or are you just kind of hanging out? Oh, Lorna, that's too bad. She's doing good, but a long recovery. Is her channel still up? If so, maybe that's a channel that I need to go check out, because, you know, I need some more to check out when I finish all of Heidi's. Penny, what are you working on today? I absolutely loved your mermaid tags that you just posted. I watched them silent last night while I was in bed, and I hadn't had a chance to comment because I don't like to comment on the iPad. It makes it too hard to type. But I thought they were really beautiful, and I love the design of them. Oh, yeah, Tommy. Well, try having a shop named Poppiness and see what auto-generated captions come up with. I keep thinking I'm going to get slapped down by the YouTube police because of my shop name. Laundry's not fun. That's not fun, Jeanette. You're supposed to be doing something fun. I did that yesterday, several loads of laundry, but I'm proud to say for the first time in I don't know how long, all the laundry is washed and folded and put away. Yes, please, Lorna, send me the link, because I am looking for some new inspiration. Sometimes, you know, there's people that I watch all the time just because I love their work and I want to keep up with them, but it's also good to see new people because they like Heidi McGregor, who, like I said, is just going to be my new love until I go through all her videos and wonder why she doesn't have 500 of them for me. Yeah, Tommy, I guess so. That could do it too. Names and the names we give ourselves, the names we have no choice in the matter. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see if I can. Jude, are you still here? Can you find Penny's channel for me if you're still here and post a link to it so they can see her her beautiful work? She's on my design team, and I just love the work that she does. And I would love to see more people subscribe to Penny. You can go to, you can click on the little dots. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jude. I appreciate it. I love when we can support, you know, the subscriber base of people that we love. I've got a few of my people on the team that are trying to really grow their channels, and so I appreciate if any of my subscribers can help them out. But Penny's work is stunning, and she's also got a voice that I could listen to all day long. Lorna, I would love to see some links from some of your favorites. So yeah, send me a message. You know, and I have to say that, you know, I'm inspired by the fact that you figure out a way to make videos to showcase your work, you know, in a way that does not compromise your voice and works with the health issues that you have to deal with. I think it's fabulous. We all have to adapt. I didn't know if I was going to like doing the videos. I was used to public speaking and I love doing that, but I'm not a super fan of my voice. I just think it's just kind of there. It's just a voice. I'm surprised at how much I enjoy doing this sort of thing. I enjoy doing the lives more than the videos where I have to worry about getting everything just right and uploading the thumbnails and SEO, which just really is frustrating. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself, Lorna. That's what it's all about. So Lorna, I know you've got a big family at home when you're shopping. How long can you shop and then not have to go back for a couple weeks, not have to deal with people? Because I worry with your issues, even with the mask, you going out and about. Although, like you said, you guys have done well in your area, keeping things contained. I worry. I've got one friend where there's 5 of them at home, and then another with all the kids in a blended family. There's 9 of them, and I'm thinking, you must have to go to the grocery store every 3 days or something. Thank you. So the link that Jude just posted is for Penny Marshall, and I do hope you guys will go check her out. Check out her channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. She's got some beautiful journals that you can look at, and she's got like a story that goes with her journals, and then her mermaid tags that she just posted are also super cool. And speaking of voices, I can tell mine is about done for the day. I won't do much talking the rest of the day, but since it's just me and my husband, there's not a lot of talking. He'll be working for another few hours, so I can hydrate some more. And oh, that's good, Lorna. That's good. Yeah, we've got the thing here. If you're over a certain age or disabled, you also get Prime Shop time. Amanda. A little bit more water, see if we can finish off here. I was a super talker a lot when I was younger. Now, I can feel sneezes are going to come. Now, I just need so much quiet. So much quiet in my life. Which is what was so hard when we were living still in the city, because it was never quiet. Even when the neighborhood was quiet, the next door neighbors were playing loud music and smoking like chimneys, and so you couldn't have the windows open because the houses were so close together, the smoke was coming in. All right, I think we'll get to this last little stack here, finish these off, and then that'll do me in. Time to go get a little bit of vitamin D out in the sun. Go look for the bunnies. Wake Zoe up from her nap. And then I'm going to clean off the studio island. I would love to see if I could get that cleaned off today so that I could start pulling out all the stuff for the journals tomorrow. Because I know once I do that, it's like there won't be doing anything else until I get the flow journals done, because it's just going to take up so much space. But I don't have to sew anything, so I just have to lop them all together. And well, you know, you can also slow the videos down, Nettie. You don't have to watch them at that fast speed. If you go to the little gear thing, you know, you can put them down to 0.75 or even slower. I do that sometimes. I can't remember the name of the gal that I watched a few times, and she talked like speed demon. Her stuff she was working at was at normal pace, but she was talking so fast, even the closed caption couldn't keep up with her. But then I slowed it down, and I could understand her a lot better. Oh, wonderful quiet time. Thank you, Jude, for that other link. I appreciate it to my shop. Oh, you can't figure out how to do it on your phone. Are you on an Android or an yeah, that other one. Jeez. Or an iPhone. I don't know that I have done it on my phone. I watch all my videos on the laptop or the iPad. Android. Okay, I'll look it up on mine, and if I can figure out how to do it on mine, I'll send you a message. I actually forget that I can watch them on my phone, but I'm old. My hands don't work real fast, so I prefer to do more things on the laptop. Would I show you another type of envelope? Let's see. You mean other than the ones that are folded up like this? Let me find what do we got here? So, we've got, you've got an envelope, not old, younger. I'm almost 62. I don't know how old you are, Lorna, but I'm almost 62. So this is one envelope where you just take any kind of a rectangle, you fold it up, and then I like to leave some space here. And what you could do with this, if you didn't have a sewing machine, you would just glue down these two sides, or you can stitch all the way around. Yeah, I'm 61. But then if you want to make this a little fancier, what you can do is you have your rectangle, and you could do this exactly with a scoreboard, but I'm not going to do that. You can fold in your sides a little bit. And fold in your sides here. Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate that. Young at heart. I think that's what it is when you're young at heart. Okay, so I folded my sides here, and I folded my sides here, and I have, okay, so if I still did it just the way I had it like this, but we want to make it look a little bit more like an envelope. So what you can do when you cut these off, let me put the lid on my glue here. What you can do on here, I'm going to cut this at my corner a little bit, and then I'm going to give that like an envelope angle. And I'm not being exact. You probably could be, but I'm not being exact. All right, so I still have my rectangle, but I folded it in. So now when I fold this down, I'm going to get more of an envelope shape. And then I'm going to cut my little corners here. And I can cut my corner here. And that's going to fold in nicely. And now I want to get rid of my bulk right here. So I'm going to cut down my fold. And I'm going to cut up in a little angle here. Bye, Tommy. Happy to see you here. Amanda, how long have I been in the junk journal world? That is a good question. About a year and a half, maybe. Yeah, about a year and a half. Wasn't paying attention while I was doing this. So now I can glue this. Let's see if I'm going to be putting these in the right order. I glue that in. And I'm going to glue this one down. You could do this on the sewing machine too. And then, whoops, I didn't cut. I went too far. Or I didn't go far enough. All right, we can fix this. I'm going to come down, overlap there, and cut. This is obviously not the way I normally make envelopes. Down and dirty. All right, so then glue the sides down here, here. And if you want that to be more of a point, you could probably figure out how to do that. I'm not going to cut it because I'll make it even worse. So that's another kind of envelope. Let's see here. So Shelby, is that what you meant? A different kind of envelope? Does that answer your question? Oh, Penny, I didn't realize you were 52. I thought you were younger than that. What have I been doing since I left the corporate world? Well, while I was in the corporate world, I was also writing children's books. And so that's what I did for 30 years, is I wrote children's books. And so you can look me up on Amazon. I still have some books that are available there. Some of them are out of print. I think some of the ones for the educational market are still there. So when we had a lot of layoffs because my company kept getting sold. And so finally, when my turn came and I got my package, I just stayed home and wrote full time. That was what I was doing. And that was fine with me. I didn't belong in the corporate world, but at the time, that's what I needed to do. And so I was writing, and then, you know, I'd been writing for 30 years. I wrote children's books. I wrote magazine articles. I worked for newspapers. I did a lot of work in the publishing industry. And then I just kind of it was like, that was it. I'm done. I've told all the stories I really want to tell right now. I was not a fan of working in the publishing world anymore. Like art, it doesn't pay real well. And if I wasn't having a good time doing it, it was time to do something else. And when I was writing a lot, I was teaching. I taught correspondence school. I taught poetry. I would go to the lockup facilities and taught poetry to teens that were in detention centers. And it was really emotionally draining. So after a while, it was just like, I'm done. So then I started kind of art journaling, thinking I was just dealing with writer's block. I didn't think I was done. And I still had books in the pipeline, books that were coming out. So I just started playing with art just kind of as a way to, take a break from writing. And then it turned out that things flip-flopped. And I'm still trying to figure out how I want to marry some of my older writing with my art, which is what I was doing with some mixed media stuff. I was combining some of my poetry with some of my mixed media. And now less writing and more arting, and I'm a much happier person, and I only have to worry about myself. I'm not dealing with publishers and editors, because publishing world was tough because they kept getting sold off, and editors would move, and you'd have a relationship with them on one book, and something would change. And so, yeah, new chapter in my life. Lorna, I'm going to have to go look mine up and see when everything got started. Shelby, yes, Jude posted Penny's link. If you page up a little bit, okay, a lot of it. It's above. There's a link that she posted that's my shop, and then the link above that says channel you see something is Penny's link. So do go up there and find that. Or, you can go the little, next to her name, there should be dots. Okay, Terry, I will talk to you later. I hear you, Nettie. most people talk too slow for me, and so I tend to fast forward everything. I watch a lot of my videos on the fastest speed possible, and then once in a while I have to slow them down or look at the captions. But the likelihood of me watching a standalone video that's 2 hours long, you know, I'll sit in a live and keep working while somebody's talking for 2 hours, but I'm not going to watch a video that's long most of the time. All right, this looks like the last one. Penny, that's awesome. Your history that you add to them is kind of, you know, I'm trying to figure out how I can marry my knowledge of California native plants. I've got one idea, but I haven't started to play with it yet. And I just think that does really enrich the journals when we can combine our love of writing and our love of art. Look at this wonderful stack of goodies. You guys kept me company while I was working on your rehab team. Wow. That's right, because I don't know if you guys know it, but Lorna is also a fine artist and used to work in big, beautiful, artsy things. So she's just moved to a different art form. I have had, you know, no art training whatsoever. I took one art journaling class, and I kind of hung out at this collage studio where I got a couple of tips, but and I really want to get back to torn paper collage, which was one of the things at the same time I started art journaling that I was doing, because I also have in the garage a huge stack of canvases that are cheap canvases that would be perfect for doing a lot of that collage on. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is a fabulous stash. I can stamp on some of these. I can put some napkins on them. Oh yeah, I'm fabric paper beads. I am just about ready to sign off. My voice is about done. But I really appreciate all these wonderful questions. Oh, Shelby, did you see that Jude posted Penny's channel again? So you guys can go check it out and hopefully subscribe to her. All right, thank you guys for hanging with me today. We've got all those glassine envelopes, and I've got these little library pockets, and I'm going to tomorrow start filling them up with all kinds of goodies. Yeah, I'm productive when I'm hanging out with my friends. The rest of the time I'm sitting around wishing I had chocolate. Oh, although I do have chocolate because my husband baked last night, so I do have something I can go have. All right, guys, I will see you next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Yes, I will be saving this video, and I will put it up. It should go up in just a few minutes. Janet, thank you. Yes, I feel happier. I feel a lot more energized and a lot more focused on my art, which is where I want to put my energy right now. And Jude, thank you for being my right arm. I sure appreciate you taking care of things with the links for me. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate the thumbs up, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.